Good afternoon, everybody. This is ScareRookie. It is July 5th, 2017, and as promised, here is the update to my ScareRookie sign. As you recall in my earlier video, for those of you that took the time to watch it, you'll remember that this was just a basic styrofoam box that was put together. The background in this area here was just all white foam board, and I said that I was going to add some detail and then add some aging to it, and would post a video when finished. So this is it. Here is the finished product. We'll just take a quick, scan of the sign. Though, there, as you can see, there are the plastic bolts that I bought. And I'll talk through real quick as far as what the aging process consisted of, the rusting, etc. But, even close up, I mean, that looks pretty good. It definitely looks like rust, at least to me it does. So what started out as a completely unplanned project, this never started out to make a sign. I literally just took a sheet of just basic styrofoam and was cutting out some letters, testing out my foam sculpting kit that I bought. And through adding a couple of pieces here and there, it evolved into this. And to be honest with you, I'm quite proud of it, actually. I like the way it turned out. So to talk through the aging process, basically I started out in this area here, the flat piece here, just in some black latex paint. And then I followed that up with some dry brushing of steel gray. And then I kind of mixed the steel gray with a little bit of water, just a very little bit, just so I could remove any kind of streaks and that kind of stuff, just to give it that kind of that sheet metal or that steel plate feel that you would have if it was a metal sign. And then, of course, the border here, the outside part here, you remember, was originally painted in like a metallic spray paint. I followed that up with a little dry brushing of black latex paint. An example of some of that is right here. You can see that. And that's just to kind of give it a greasy, dirty, grimy look on the sign if it's a very old sign. And then I followed that up with, surprisingly, because I'd never used it before for rusting, some wood stain on styrofoam. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. Really happy with the results. It turned out really good, especially in the inner side part of the sign, on top of the latex paint and stuff. I think that turned out really well. That looks like rust, runoff just from years of rusting and water dripping down, condensation. And then, of course, the bolts, again, those were plastic and shiny. I really didn't want to go through the trouble of sanding them down and all that stuff. So I literally just soaked them in wood stain. And then as I put them into the styrofoam, and I just used a foam sculpting kit, just melted a hole, hot glued these in, and then finished that up after they were all in place by just taking another dab of wood stain, putting it on top of it, and kind of staining the area around it to kind of get that runoff look that you see here in the streets as it's coming down on the sign. So there you have it. There is the ScareRookie sign with rusting and aging. And I got to tell you, if you had this mounted in your garage, if you had a walkthrough in your yard, if you had an old sign, or better yet, if you were going to make, say, like a steel casing or a steel coffin or some type of electronic piece of equipment like you'd see in Resident Evil with a zombie or some kind of monster trapped inside, this is a pretty cool way of creating the look and feel of a metal object with nothing but styrofoam and paint. In the dark, in poor lighting, you probably wouldn't be able to tell unless you got really, really close. Here, I'll turn the light out real quick, again, just so you can see kind of the final product. And I'll put a little side lighting on. So if it was in your hunt, you would have some indirect light on it probably. But, you look at that at night, with some proper lighting, that looks pretty good. I'm really happy with how that turned out, to be quite honest with you. And I learned a lot. I learned that wood stain on styrofoam mixed with some good paint and stuff really kind of can give you a very good rusting effect, which I may apply in some future projects, especially if I'm doing hinges or bolts or old handles and things like that. you know, I found a new application for it. At least I did. I mean, those of you out there may have already been aware of this, but I learned something new. So anyway, wanted to share the update, guys, as promised. There's the ScareRookie sign. I look forward to your comments, questions you might have, and hopefully you learned something from my experience and you can figure out a way to apply this for yourselves. Until then, this is ScareRookie signing off, and keep on hunting, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.